Peace, everyone. Welcome to My Soul Artistry. I go by Epoch, and this is a sacred temple space for artists to explore their own unique path through any form of spiritual insights that may benefit them as they walk. So I had mentioned on a previous video that I'm doing multiple YouTube series that detail how different spiritual paths can be a way to empower oneself as an artist and further their creative expression. So this video today is a part of the Occult Observation series, and the title is Integrity, a Prerequisite to Artistic Empowerment. All right, so integrity. The reason I'm going into this as a subject today is because I deem it as a prerequisite to artistic empowerment, in that as an artist, being in integrity would mean that our thoughts or our mind, our heart, our emotions, our body or actions, our physical actions, and one could say our soul, are all on the same page as far as what our intentions are as an artist, whether that's what we value, how we wish to be represented in life, what we aspire to. Basically, with integrity, we're talking about being congruent, being the same in a positive way across all levels of our sense of self. And so I say that to say, in the kind of like the entertainment industry, there can be a common invitation for an artist to step out of their integrity and to become something that they are not in their sense of identity or their sense of being. And so what I've noticed, and I believe a lot of people have noticed, is certain artists that achieve like a mainstream success or validation externally seem to lose like their sense of coherence and that integrity, where it's like they may feel one way, but they may do something different as an artist that doesn't actually represent who they are. And so an artist being out of integrity with themselves, that essentially leads to disempowerment. So what can happen when an artist kind of steps out of integrity with themselves is kind of a few different things. They might find that mentally their thoughts become very scattered or conflicting within themselves because they're thinking and feeling one thing, but then they're doing something else. They might find that their emotions become very chaotic with feelings like anger, frustration, grief, because they're not being true to themselves and what they want to express through their art. And then that can be either extroverted, or that can be kind of something that self-implodes if they suppress those feelings after they form. And then another thing is that the body itself, or the nervous system, could develop anxiety around just that, knowing that one's not being true to themselves. So those are some things that can happen when one's not being in alignment with themselves. And this is essentially what leads to that lack of artistic empowerment that we can see if we pay attention to a lot of artists that are in the entertainment industry, especially if they started off one way and they never really intended to align with the values of Hollywood, but they kind of just succumbed to it. They can end up transforming into something that they that never intended to be. So that's just something to be mindful of. So one of the things that can come from actually being in integrity with oneself as an artist is that there can be an increase of life force and a positive increase of self-awareness, meaning one is aware of their creative abilities and how they can enact them and how they can assert their creative will when it comes to what they're creating. So that can show up as feeling mentally stronger and having more peace of mind, but yet also being more excited. That can show up as being able to navigate different kinds of emotional experiences and then conveying them into art kind of effortlessly, almost magically. And then another thing is that physically one can feel more ironically grounded as it pertains to even abstract creative processes. And that can all come from being in integrity with oneself across the board: mind, heart, soul, body, and so forth. So to conclude, what I want to encourage for anybody that's watching this is, moving forward, if one is evaluating their sense of integrity, what you could look at is, are the thoughts that I have about my artistry my own, or are they coming from someone else, or are they coming from society as a whole? Do I feel empowered to do what I'm doing, or do I feel disempowered in that my artistic actions are being controlled or outsourced to somebody else against my inner values, my value system? So I hope this helped you. Again, I'm Epoch, and this is My Soul Artistry. Peace to you all.